One of our favorite animals to see is the lion.
Sure.
They're ferocious, yet they're calm.
Yeah, I love that.
And I heard Darren Hardy talk about the fact that lions, although they could kill a mouse, they don't. They don't waste their time on it.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
the return on investment isn't there.
Yeah.
Right? It takes about as much energy for a lion to kill a mouse as it does an antelope, but they're going to feast on the antelope and their entire family is. So just from the standpoint of realizing I need to spend my time on things that matter.
Yeah.
Not the little things of life. Number one. So that's the first concept of running with a lion. But the idea is that they're this, they're the king of the jungle. They're the king of the savannah. And they're this regal animal that when you see them in the wild, they're relaxed. They're just taking care of their family. You're watching them from an SUV with an open top and you're like, if they wanted to, they could jump on the roof and then on the ceiling, or
take you out.
Yeah, just take me out. But they don't. They don't waste their energy on that kind of stuff. And so it's just like this is who you want to be as a lion, as opposed to a donkey. And so when you want any area of life, if you want to improve, whether it's your health, your marriage, your parenting, your finances, your spirituality.
Yeah.
Look for someone that represents a lion or a group of people and run with them.
Yes.
If you want to get healthy, you have to break up with your beer drinking, smoking, overweight friends. And I'm not saying you kick them out, you leave them behind, but you realize unless they join you on the journey, it's not going to happen. So you need to go seek out some people that you're like, that is what I want.
Yes.
Same thing for marriage. If your marriage is struggling, you got to look at your friends. I'm guessing some of your friends have struggling marriages, and you need to go find some people that have a healthy, happy, thriving marriage that understand it takes work and you have to invest in it. You go spend time with those lions of marriage and your marriage will improve.
Yeah.
So that's what running with lions means.
That's powerful. Yeah. When I love the analogy of lions when because they are calm, but they're powerful.
Yeah. And they'll be ferocious and vicious when they have to be.
Yeah.
But they're not like that all the time.
Yeah. And God gave me a scripture about like being as calm as a lion, but they're like, you have to be like, for me, when you think about protecting your family, like that's a lion is very symbolic for that.
Exactly.
Like you don't have to be even as a man there to protect your family. Like for me with my kids, I want to be like a lion where they know that, hey, I'm powerful and protect you, but there is calm. I'm present. I'm with my kids, and I want to have other lions that I'm running with. Yeah, that's so good. So you kind of as we end our time, you're creating this community that is going after uncommon freedom. You have this unique ability to be able to invite people on this journey. And you do this through multiple gatherings. Kind of share like what is your strategy of how you do that and how you invite people in to your life. I think for people like you have this unique ability to be able to do that. And in today's world, everyone is so stuck on social media, is so focused on just me and right now, but you welcome people in and it's very attractive to others. And I think people want to create community, but they just don't know how. Yeah. And so how have you guys been so successful at creating community and being authentic? First time I met you, have hundreds of guys showing up. You're in a tank top with Celine Dion on it. I'm like, dude, this guy is like a...
What was that? What event was that?
It was a poker night, man. Okay. You had a Celine Dion shirt, just didn't give a crap. And... you like have big ol' arms. I mean, not as big as mine, but it's all right.
I'm working on it. Trying to run with you, man.
But you are unapologetic that you say, hey, we're here to smoke cigars, but I want you to know that Jesus loves you. Like, dude, I can run with this guy. And people were like, heck yeah. Like you probably don't even remember you're doing all this.
Well, the community piece, when I look back in my life, I don't know if it's just like, my wife and I have, from the early days, invited people in. Sure. And I think a lot of people are waiting for it.
Absolutely, they are.
And my advice to anyone who doesn't have the community they want is go create it.
Okay.
I have found if you invite people, they will come. If they don't, then you might need to take a look at yourself and say, okay, why aren't people come? Like, what is it about my life that's so unattractive that no one wants to spend time with me? And I'm not trying to beat anybody up, but I think it's fair to say, gosh, if people don't want to spend time with me, go ask some friends for a 360-degree evaluation. If you're willing to hear the hard truth and say, hey, I'm trying to build this community. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to join. Do you have any insight as to why it is? Maybe it's because you're super negative. Maybe it's because all you do is you talk about all the things going wrong with the world. And people don't want to be around that.
Or you're talking about your high school days. Dude, we're 40 years old. Like there has been 3 decades since then.
Right.
What are we looking forward to?
So when I was in the Marine Corps, my wife and I, we hosted holiday meals because we were in Japan, Okinawa, Japan. So almost none of us had any family around. So we just opened up our home and invited people. Hey, Thanksgiving
and you're super
dinner.
Predictable about this.
Yes.
One of the things about yourself is like it's not a one-time thing, and if you can come, you can come. So the invites is always open, and you create this. You have this fun, especially for guys, to get to know each other. So you have this kind of fun. Everyone loves to play poker, but then you're super intentional about this rhythm that you're always doing. It's every single month. And is that part of your strategy? Is that you're always predictable with it? What other things that you're in? You just are open with your life.
I mean, it's just inviting people in. Once again, creating that opportunity. Because Becca, my wife and I, we talk about this frequently. Like we do 95% of the inviting. We can, and I think if it's the case for us, it's probably the case for most people where their life is pretty boring. There's not a lot of community because most people just don't prioritize it. And therefore, if you want it, you need to create it. So the whole poker thing for me is just once again, really saying, I want to control my sphere of influence. And I also want to have something that I can invite guys into. And I found that poker is a great way to, it's not one-on-one, right? If I just met you, I'm like, hey, do you want to go to coffee? That sounds a little bit awkward potentially, because 2 guys that don't know each other getting together, it's a little intense almost. But if you can come to a poker game and you can also bring a friend, because I understand showing up to a poker game where I don't know anybody but one person and there's 30 other people there, a little intimidating for a lot of people. But it just, it's something that you can invite people to and it's not weird. And I'll meet people, anywhere. And if I'm like, okay, they seem like a good guy, I'll invite them to poker and many of them will actually come.
And you have this kind of this red hot center of these guys who are super loyal to it that have created this very welcoming culture, but you can shoot the breeze, you can laugh and have fun. And for guys, it's like very attractive. You're like, oh, this is cool.
Absolutely.
So it's like this group that becomes this, it's their highlight of their month.
Oh, literally. I mean, the number of guys are like, Kevin, this is my favorite day of every single month.
I work around. I tell my wife that we can't vacation these days, right?
No, literally. That happens. They're like, Kevin, I'm planning my trip for February. Do you know when you're doing poker? Because I need to get that on the calendar.
You have made an impact in people's lives in big ways is when they plan their stuff around what you guys are doing. And that's the same true for Sarah and I. Is like people are asking, hey, when is this happening? When is this? Because we need to make sure that we're available for those things. And I bet you those people call you when they're going through hard things.
I mean, they're good people. The relationships that I've built, like you wouldn't expect it from, people that I met. I mean, there's a guy that I literally, I bought a gun from him in 2020 off of Arms List and then bought another one and invited him to poker. And now he's become a really good friend of mine. But the key is you have to build relationship with people. And honestly, when I look at, there's no recorded poker games in the Bible that I know of, at least with Jesus. But when I look at kind of how he lived his life, like he went to the people, he spent time with them. And I think a lot of what he did look like just hanging out with people, building that relationship. And for me, the poker is how I do that in 2024.
And even when I think about even growing a business and a level of influence, that's you have to do that. You have to be intentional with people and get into those rooms where you can rub shoulders and make relationships.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for the Unleash Your Purpose podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. We'll see you next week.